I'm Lachlan from ACE Training, and this is part 4 of our 5-part video series providing quick solutions to common data problems. Now in this video, we're going to look at how we can pull meaningful information and summarize our granular lines of data. And we're going to do this through introducing a pivot table and how it makes life easy. So come have a look with me. Here in Excel, I have got a table, and this table is made up of line-by-line units of data. This is actually sales for pasta. And it's very granular. When you look at it, you can't really tell what's going on. You can say something about what's happening for a particular purchase, but not about the trend or what's meaningful. And the solution is to connect this to a pivot table. And to do that, I'm going to go up to the Insert tab, hit Pivot Table, and you'll see that it's automatically picked up my table because I was clicked inside of it. And here I can choose, I would like to put this pivot table on an existing sheet, and I'm going to come to this Pivot Tables tab and I'm going to choose a cell just here. Lovely. Okay. And what that does is that produces this very blank pivot table you can see. Not much going on. And it's my job now to build this pivot table to answer the types of questions and the things I care about to do with my data. You'll see over here on the right that I have a little box. I think of this as like the kitchen or the workshop, where I get to take my columns of data and I get to drag them to one of these 4 boxes: the values, the rows and the columns, and the filters. And I want to walk through how you can do this to answer a question. So follow along. Here I've got a question, a comparative question that says, which month had the highest net sales for the supermarket segment in New Zealand? And when I've got a question, I always start by looking for the word that helps me to know how I'm going to order my data. I call this the sorting word, and that's this word highest. And I know that whatever comes after that is my value. My value, it's the net sales in this case. And a good definition for a value is something that you might want to sum, average, or count. And I know that I'd love to total and sum those net sales. And so all I need to do is drag the net sales here to the values box and watch how it automatically gets summed, gets summarized, doesn't it? That whole column gets added up. And I can double tap on the header, and I can change this to a count or an average. I'm just going to change this to the word total, total net sales. Now that I've got that beautiful summarized total, I want to break that down, slice it and dice it. And so I'm going to use the rows and the columns. I find that the rows is the best. I'm going to bring the month to the rows. You see, I know the month should go on the rows because the month follows the word which. And which, what, or which, these are comparative words. And so I know that what comes after it is the thing which I would like to compare, the thing of which I'd like to break down my sales with. And here's the months. You can see that total and then all the contributing numbers that help to make it up. Yeah. Lastly, I need to apply my filters, the specific circumstances for my question. And you'll often see words like for, in, during, within, of. These are specifying words for the supermarket segment. Or here it's in New Zealand. And so I know I've got 2 different filters I need to apply. Let me go and grab the country and put that in the filters. Then I'm going to come and grab, where is it, the market segment as well. You'll see that those filters now sit above that table, and I get to now apply them. For the country, we're going to go New Zealand. And for the market segment, we're going to go for supermarket. And there we go. See how quickly and easily this pivot table takes our raw line-by-line data, granular data, and summarizes it, gets meaningful things out of it, allows me to question it. And I can see now that February is the highest. I might even apply a colour scale to help me to see how they compare to one another. You can see there February winning that question. Then one of the great things about a pivot table is that in the future I can actually update it. If my data changes, I can come to the pivot table and I can refresh it as well. And so watch as I come and take a piece of new data, some more lines of data, and I add it into the bottom of my source data, and watch as my table beautifully accepts it. And then at my pivot table, if I come up to data and I refresh it, watch as how it now expands to add in another 6 months worth of data that I can now see how it's doing. October is the best of the year. That's great. Hopefully that gives you a picture of how a pivot table can help us to summarize data and pull out meaningful information. If that interests you, I really recommend coming along to either our pivot table course or our Excel data analysis and reporting course. Otherwise, check out ace.co.nz to see all of our courses.